Um, just first, I just want to say that I thought the crowd was amazing. Great atmosphere, homecoming. Um, I think we're playing extremely hard. I think we have a lot of kids that are doing the things that we want them to do. Obviously, very impressed with our defensive effort tonight, forcing the turnovers, helping get us in position where we can score. Um, I think we're building on some understanding defensively and building on some guys that are performers on that side of the ball, and that's really good to see. Um, Disappointed very much in our penalties. We're just a team that doesn't have a margin for error right now. We have to play smart football um, with some of the injuries and the young guys we got playing on offense that are learning how to play the game. We just can't give plays away, and some of the penalties really put us behind the eight ball. Was really pleased with the block punt. Thought that was a really great play by our kids and execution by our special teams. Um, Giles played his first start tonight and did some really good things, but we got to continue to improve there. So we got a lot of work to do. Disappointing that we couldn't find a way to close this game out because it was certainly a game that we could have won. But we got to continue to go back and help these players improve, and our staff's got to do a great job of doing that.
Jay, do you feel like you've exhausted all your ideas and concepts that you can come up with offensively to try to get?
No, it's really not about that. It's just about execution of our base stuff. It's things that we've been doing since spring, and so we just have different players doing it every week. So it's hard to build continuity off of it. And when players play for the first time, you got communication, you got snap count, you got a lot of things that go on, and once you play and get some experience, you can build on those things. But when it's the first time, it's kind of like starting all over again. So, and it's not just Giles; it's other kids too. We got other freshmen that are playing that do some things well at times, and other times they play like freshmen. And so, it is what it is. It's what we have to work with, and we have to help them as coaches. That's our job. So, got to do a better job of finding ways for them to feel comfortable and be able to make more plays, and and that's what we'll go back to work on.
What are your emotional ebbs and flows like when your defense set you up about 3 times for really good chances to score and you didn't come away with enough? Is that where you get kind of excited where you see your team doing good?
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, it's very, very, very frustrating because these are things that we feel like we can execute. We'll continue to try to put a plan together where our guys can execute. And we're trying to take pressure off certain kids too, in leaning on our offensive line and some of our rush game. I thought we had some, good plays in the running game again tonight. Avery ran extremely hard, and our line blocked pretty well for him. Got to keep our composure at times. That was not always good. But we got to eliminate the penalties. Kids start coloring outside the numbers, and you can't do that. We have to play with more composure, and so we'll continue to press for that discipline. And we got the second half of the season where we really need to see what we're made out of.
Do you see, especially with some of the youth and that leading to some of the execution stuff, is that highlighted in red zone when margin for success in areas?
Yeah. I mean that area of the field, defenses are a little more aggressive, and so your execution's got to be sharper. Absolutely, and we got to start finishing, in the red zone, and certainly think we're capable of breaking out. We got to get Torrey involved. You know, he had his hands on several balls. He's getting a lot of tight coverage. He's getting a lot of double coverage. And so it's just the way things are when you're a good player like that. And we got to find ways to get him the ball more, and we got to get him involved. So that's, you know, that's on me.
To what extent is the fluctuation of quarterbacks affect what you're trying to do? And or is there, you've alluded to it, but there's also more to it than that.
I don't know that I understand the question. I'm sorry.
How much does the fluctuation of quarterbacks have to do with your offensive struggle?
Oh, I mean, it has a lot to do with it. You know, one of the things I talked to Blake Anderson about before the game is that, you know, this is not something that's just that we're having problems with. It's a problem in the league. And we had 2 years where we had a COVID year where we had all these older players in this league that had extra years of eligibility and that were used to playing. And when you look across the league at almost every team, those players are gone. And so a lot of people are playing with younger players that have very little experience, and they have very little offensive continuity all through our league. You know, they're going through, Utah State's kind of going through what we're going through with, you know, different quarterbacks that they have to play. You know, it's just an experience. And we knew that, I mean, when we came here. You know, we could have tried to bring in a veteran quarterback, and we just felt like we had talent at that position, even though it was young. We had just a lot of other needs that we needed to bring in. We needed corners, we needed defense, you know, ends. We had a lot of other positions that we needed. So we felt like we could go with these young kids and give them the experience they need. They have the talent we're looking for. They have the profile we're looking for. You know, and Clay was really, I thought he was improving as a player. Really throwing for a high percentage, showing great understanding, you know, and he got hurt. And then these young kids had to play. So it's a big factor in just our experience and our comfort level with what we can run. But it is, you know, it's the same thing a lot of teams are going through, so we have to figure out a way to do it better.
I'm sorry, I didn't phrase that.
It's okay.
Speaking of Blake and his QBs, when he went to Davenport, it was like speaking a different way. It looked like they were shifting to kind of a zone read deal. How did you guys responded to that? They got a big jolt out of it, then you kind of settled down.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job defensively adjusting and handling it. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, you know, and they've had issues with turnovers, and so they're trying to rely on the run game and quarterback run game, so they don't put the ball in harm's way. I mean, we're trying to do some similar things, you know, not turning the ball over, and you know, and Giles did a pretty good job of that. Even though he didn't throw for a high percentage, he protected the ball until the very, very end, and he kind of overthrew Torrey. And but yeah, they you know, they have several different athletic quarterbacks. The quarterback run game is part of what they do. They do a very good job with that. And you know, I thought on the most part our guys handled it pretty decent.
Obviously, last week you had the, I guess, locker room excitement of kind of grinding out a win like this. Now you have the reverse of, you know, similar type of game but lose. How are the guys kind of reacting right now?
It's tough. It's a tough loss. I mean, we had a lot of guys play extremely hard. You know, we did a lot of things really well defensively. You know, if you can hold anybody in the teens, you need to be winning games. And so, you know, we're obviously struggling. You know, with some of our personnel, we got to do a better job putting them in position. And so, you know, those kids are hurting in there, and so we got to keep them up. We got to keep them going, and you know, get them to bounce back. You know, we have a big challenge ahead of us the second half of the season. You know, we got a lot of work to do. We got to keep continuing to improve and understand what we're doing and fighting for execution. And as we get some players back healthy, we should see improvement. And that's what we're looking for these next 6 games.
What have you noticed most about your defensive growth the last couple of weeks as they've given you chances to win games?
Well, I think Henry Blackburn has been a real shot in our arm with our defense. just giving us that spirit and that edge. I think we're developing playmakers on defense. I don't think it's rocket science. I mean, we have good corners. We have good defensive linemen, kids that have played a little bit. You know, and we're playing well in the back end with our safeties. You know, we got Jack back, and we've got good players. And so, you know, I think we're developing in the scheme and developing playmakers, and you know, and that's what, you know, that's what you got to do on either side of the ball, and develop that confidence to do what we can do. And so, you know, I see us. We got to continue to get better defensively. You know, hopefully we'll get some guys back on offense, maybe get Clay back, and you know, just help solidify us and play with more confidence offensively, and play off each other and start to gain some momentum. And that's, you know, that's the goal.
How do you guys as a coaching staff go about trying to limit penalties? I mean, it's double digits.
It's just discipline, you know, and kids get out over their skis sometimes, and they're a little bit more aggressive or get a little frustrated. You know, we just have to do a better job. You know, some of these kids, you know, on some of the deep balls, they kind of panic a little bit and not play the ball, and we get a PI. And so, you know, and the focus and concentration on the snap count, or, you know, it's just something we got to eliminate. I mean, it's just not good. And so, you know, we have to be better, and that's what I told the kids. We have to be better, and we have to play better, and we have to play with more discipline. And, you know, I think it's something we're capable of doing.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, guys.